This is how we're used to seeing Captain Cook: a stiff naval jacket and a lieutenant's hat. In the 12 years exploring the Pacific, Cook sailed hazardous seas, survived tropical hurricanes, discovered unknown lands and met warrior tribes, and the whole time he was dressed like this. But on his third voyage, the people of Hawaii thought he should try on some local fashion.
At the time of Cook's arrival, Hawaii was divided into 3 warring kingdoms. His arrival in Kealakekua Bay marked his entry into the Kingdom of Hawaii. And the then leader, the then high chief, what was called a mo'i of that kingdom, was Kalaniʻopuʻu.
The chief gave his own magnificent cloak and feathered helmet to Cook. It was an incredibly valuable gift to welcome the captain.
On the day, the journals of Cook's ships mark that the bay of Kealakekua was absolutely filled with canoes of thousands and thousands of people. Literally tons of food was gifted and other very precious objects. Perhaps the most precious object would have been this ahu'ula and mahiole. Chiefs in Hawaii were also considered sacred. They were also considered godly. And our ancestors viewed the coming of this foreigner with vast wealth and technology as a shocking, unusual thing. To associate the leader of an exploration as equated to a chief and therefore godly.
Thousands of feathers from these iwi birds were collected to make cloaks like the ahu'ula. It was such an important job that most villages had a specialist bird catcher.
So I believe there are about 500 to 800,000 feathers that are used to have made this particular ahu'ula. The birds themselves were not killed, but just simply 2 or 3 feathers taken at a time. So it gives you a sense of just how many birds were required. It would have been years of collecting feathers and years of sewing them onto a backing, a woven backing. And therefore, it gives you a sense of the esteem that our culture held for Cook and the esteem that they held for their own godly chiefs.
It's as if Captain Cook had generations of Hawaiian royalty draped on his shoulders. It was the sign of great respect, but it didn't last. Ironically, Cook was killed less than 3 weeks later in a clash at the same bay. Not even the cloak nor his godlike image could keep him safe from that fate.